Hell yeah.
What's going on YouTube? Cuts by Reggie, back with another tutorial. Today we're gonna do waves on my guy Elijah. This is my guy. If y'all seen him in another video, he was at my one of my first barber classes that I did. Today we're gonna do pretty much the same haircut, but this is gonna be the full tutorial. We're gonna do the wavelength, dark wavelength with the high taper. Make sure when you're doing your wavers, make sure you combing it, you getting the hair off the scalp, making sure everything lay down correctly. We're gonna start with the number one close, taking it down. That's pretty much the length that we're gonna get it to. I've been cutting this hair a while. Usually, if it's a new client, you want to start with a higher guard. You want to learn the patterns of their hair. I've been cutting this hair for a little bit, so I know how his hair pretty much grows. So I just take it down with the one guard, straight down to the level that we aiming for. Here we are on the other side. We're just making sure that we're following the wave pattern. His waves are pretty in there the way you want them. You see as I go around the swirl. And this was hard for me in the beginning as well, and it's hard for other barbers using both hands. But as you see, I'm using my left hand. I'm a right-handed person anyway. But on opposite sides of the head, you want to make sure you're using your different hands, because it just helps when you flow with the different wave patterns. And if, you know how the hair flows, you want to go in different directions, and using both hands kind of help you with that. Here I am with the one guard all the way closed, just going against the grain here, just knocking out some of that bulk before we get into the taper area. We're starting with the highball taper, so we're gonna start with the gold Babyliss Gold FXs, and we're just gonna ball out that area, disconnecting the beard from the taper area, you know, get that good distinct fade going on. We'll put the 1.5 guard on and take out that bulk before we actually start the fade process. And as we go on with the taper, y'all know I done said it in my videos a few different times, but I don't do the hard lines when I fade in. I start with it all the way closed. As you can see, I got the no guard on, started all the way closed, and just opening up the lever a little bit at a time as I go up, and we'll end it up with it all the way open. And then we'll go ahead and put that half guard on and repeat the same process. And you really don't have to use the full blade in this area. I mean, with the high fade, you can use more of the blade, but you still don't want to place the full blade. You kind of just want to use the edges of the edges of the blade to kind of get the fade the way you want it, and just getting out them dark spots. Making sure you're stretching your skin. As you can see, I'll drop down without the guard, just so I can try to get out some of them areas before I continue on to the process. We throw that one guard on again, close, open it up a little bit. And he like that taper high, so we're gonna end it up at the top with the 1.5 open. Here we are checking the mirror. You always want to make sure that you check the mirror, because if you look at the blend for a little while, your eyes will start getting blurry. You need to relax off of it for a second. So either look away or making sure that you look in the mirror to make sure that you can see the blend in a different, it's kind of giving it a different light. And here we are just going to the other side, repeating the same steps, starting with the gold Babyliss FXs, balled it out. No guard, half guard, 1.5. Same process. Also, don't forget to stretch the skin. When you work, and then when you fade in any way, you want to make sure that you stretch the skin. It helps the surface. It helps it. It flattens out the surface a little bit more. So when you're working in these small areas, you want to always make sure that you're pulling the skin and stretching it out. Make sure your surface is smooth. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. I stumble. Side, I am showing a little bit of fading into the beard. I don't use guards too much on fading into the beard if I'm not going down deep into it. You just kind of know the weight of your blades and kind of just fade out a little bit. Start with the blade all the way closed, open it up just a little bit, and kind of, it's kind of like you're going across an afro. You just blending it out just a little bit. And here we are on the back of the neck taper. You always remember you got more room on the back of the neck, so you can go a little bit higher with the fade, especially if somebody wants the high taper. You know what I'm saying? So here we are with the 1.5, knocking out that bulk before we actually bald it out and start with the fade. It is the same steps, but a lot of times you don't get to see the back of the taper on my videos. So here we are. Premiumbeat.com. I went against the grain, knocking out the bulk, but before I start with the actual balding of the taper, I do like to go with the grain to lay everything back down, keep everything smooth, keep your surface smooth. You always want to be combing and brushing after you cut a little bit, so you're knocking that extra hair out the way. You don't want nothing messing up your space while you're fading. And as you can see, we're not necessarily going up to the line and going past the line. We're not trying to leave any hard lines in the fade. We're just flicking right up under that line, and you're knocking out that dark spot. You're not trying to put in a line to take the fade up higher. You just want to flick right before you get to that line. And here we are starting on the lineup, and I'm gonna make a full review or another review, kind of re-reviewing of the Andis GTXs. Y'all know that I like to use my Andis my T-out liners. But since I got these trimmers, I've probably only touched my regular T-out liners once or twice. I've been going back and forth between these and the Gold Babies FXs. These and these, man. I'm gonna do a whole nother review, so we ain't gonna get into it. But just so y'all know, I bought another pair. That should let y'all know something. Here we are now, starting with the lineup. I like to start in the middle of the head, taking it to the left side first, and then we're leaving that. Then we're gonna hit the vertical bars, and then I'll turn it to the other side and go the opposite direction. Starting in the middle of the head just kind of help you get a balance before you. If you're starting from one corner trying to drag it all the way around, it's not gonna come out. At least in my opinion, it don't come out as straight as you want it to. So starting in the middle of the head where the darkest line is, you kind of know where you're going. And it just helps. It just helps. You start from the center, drag it to one side, hit a vertical bar, take it to the other side, do the same steps. Just dragging it to the other side, middle of the head, to the left side, with the vertical line, hit it with the vertical bar, and just trying to bring it all together. I mean, no line is as straight as you think it is. It's all the optical illusion, but you want to see that you can get it as straight as possible. As you can see, I like to turn my client to the mirror, and once I turn him to the mirror, you can see that his line on one side is down just a tad. Take your time when you cutting people's hair. If it's not straight at first, make sure that you look at it again. Don't worry about how it look until you finish. You want to make sure that you double take. Take your time. A lot of people want to be the fastest barber, but you got to get out good quality product. That's what they're here for. You know what I'm saying? They'll sit in your chair 5 extra minutes for you to go over everything and making sure that it's as perfect as you can get it. Although we say there's no such thing as a perfect haircut, you want to get it as close as possible. And here we are, just got everything lined up. And this is the pivot enhancement card. I just now started using, this was actually the first client that I used this enhancement card on, and I love it. It got multiple angles on there. It got a longer shelf at the top. It kind of give you more room when you're doing the lineup up front. But as you can see, it's just different. You got the curve. You got the 90-degree angle over here. It's more options when I'm spraying, and using this enhancement card. The pivot. I'll leave the link down below where you can order you one. I found them on Instagram. Actually, shout out to Hunt the Barber. That's the first barber that I seen using it, and I had to give it a go. Look at that. Whew. That thing coming out using that Tune 45 enhancement. And I don't use a cordless compressor. I like the compressor that you plug in. The power is there, and you know what you're getting. And after you sprayed it, you just go over everything, knocking any mess out the way. And as you can see, like I said, he cannot stop looking in the mirror. Look at him. Trying to get him right. And here I'm not really tapping the line. I'm just making sure that I got any mess out the way.
Just leave food down in the floor. Hey, you can do that. I'll probably be about 6 hours.
Yeah. I'm just. You gotta make sure, cuz. Let me do it. Let me do my spin in there.
Okay. Let me see if I can get my wife to get my daughter if I can.
I was asking though, because the dog got I got her. I got her, she going out road. You moving her outside? Okay. She stay outside.
Like real talk.
You already know who this cut by. You, come on, boy. You already know. Hey.
And that's the cut. If you watched up throughout this whole video, I appreciate you. Hopefully I showed you something. Hopefully I taught just enough to let you take it into the next haircut. If you like the video, like the video. If you dislike the video, dislike the video. Comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we be back with some more reviews and more tutorials. Cuts by Reggie. Peace.